What's going on, guys? So we're talking about part 2 to what I discussed last video regarding gun control. We need stricter laws in the US. Other countries have very strict laws on firearms, and I think if we start following suit and be a little bit more tougher on criminals, people who commit acts of crime with guns, we might be able to lower some of these things that are happening out here in the country today. There's plenty of people that have shot with a gun and hurt someone, taken a life, and they go to jail for a few years and they get right back out. So it's like, okay, there was no harsh punishment for me doing this, so no big deal. Some people get time served after being in jail for assault at the county jail. So we were a little bit more stricter on people, and tougher laws here. This might make some of these things subside, in my opinion. A gun is nothing more than a tool to protect your family and yourself. That's it. It's not a toy. It's not meant to be played around with. It should stay up in the house in a safe, locked away from children until you need it for self-defense. Or maybe you want to go to the gun range and, get your practice in, your aiming, whatever it may be. But that's all a gun is. It's just a tool. But we got to stop being so lenient. And all the bans, like I talked about last video, all the bans the government want to put on, well, this firearm, do this, and the buyback programs, it's just law-abiding citizens abiding by these laws right here and turning their guns. The bad guys are not going to turn in their guns. They're not going to do it. But we need tougher laws. Stick to that. We need tougher laws here. We have to be very stern when someone commits a crime with a gun. And that way it sends a message, You commit this crime with a gun, you're going away for a long time, if not for life. And when you send that type of message out there, people will think before they just pull a gun and do something, if it's not in self-defense, before they try to rob someone. Look what's happening in Chicago. Every weekend, there's a shooting in Chicago. At least 10 to 30, 40 people shot every weekend in Chicago. Everything's lenient up there. There's no enforcement. There's nothing being done to stop this. This is an every week thing going on in Chicago. So if that's happening every week, that'll tell you there's nothing really in place that is really strict, firm, and sending a message to people who are committing these crimes with guns that, hey, if you do this, you're really going to be gone for a long time. It's like a free-for-all up there. So all these shootings going around the country that happen, every once in a while, every few months, every weekend, people are getting shot in Chicago. So there's so much going on, but that's because the country, we're not strict. We're not strict on people. You got to be firm. Someone commits a crime, you put them away. They have a gun, they take a life, you put them away. There shouldn't be any coming out, they did 5 years, we'll put them on probation. No. If you take a life, the only way you should get out of jail is if that person wakes up. When they wake up is when you can get out of jail. Okay? That's how it should be, in my opinion. But we're very lenient over here. That's why people are so quick to pull a gun on things, on someone, robbing someone. They know they get a few years, they'll be back out, no time. Meanwhile, someone has lost their life. And yes, there should be a rigorous process before you're allowed to buy a firearm. If you committed a crime with a firearm before, you don't need to buy one, in my opinion. That's it. You don't need one. You want to get a firearm, a gun, go get a cap gun. Go get a little small water gun. You'll have a gun then. No real guns for people who committed crimes with guns, things of that nature. That's just my opinion. So we got to be stricter on those things. And just, you guys keep your eyes open, watch the news. I've seen a lot of things coming up. I've seen on, Tucker Carlson. He had people on there, saying, hey, it's always a law-abiding citizen following the laws, turning in their guns. When they have these buyback programs, the county sheriff does, the police department does. So we have to be tough as a country to try to curb some of these, some of this crime going on with these firearms. Like I said, look at Chicago every week. Look how many people are shot in Chicago. If we had stricter laws in this country where you're going to jail for almost pretty much life, 30, 40 years plus, you wouldn't have that much going on because people would think twice before using a gun. I appreciate you guys watching. Remember to like, share, and subscribe. And I'll see you in my next video. Peace.